So once again, good morning class. This is English literature class in which we will continue the same unit, unit 12, the Canterville report. We were on scene 1 now. So today we will start from scene 2. So page number 126. Please take out your book, page number 126, and make me sure that you all have taken out. Okay. So scene 1, in which we have some characters like Lord Canterville, Mr. and Mrs. Otis. They were a wealthy and middle-aged American couples. We had Mrs. Umney, who was an old housekeeper at Canterville House. Then we have Washington. Okay, Washington, the eldest son of the Otis family. Then Virginia, the middle child and the Otis family's daughter. Then we had the Lewis and the twins, Lewis and Clark, who were the youngest members of the Otis family. And finally, we had hosts. So these characters we were introduced in the last day. We had the word intimidated. The word intimidating. So here that we found that here the family is not going to have a fear from the ghost, but the ghost had. So as before starting the class, I want to ask you, so Garima, to please give a brief summary of this scene 1. Garima Rao. Okay, Ananya has raised her hand. We'll ask to her. Now your turn as well. Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, scene 1, the Lord Canterville told to that family that there is ghost in that
that
house. Like that, I don't believe on ghost, and we are the.
Okay. Okay, just wait. Now, Garima, you continue this.
Yes, ma'am. In this story, ma'am, here in this story, there are two couples of the American family, and there are two twins, ma'am, that are youngest members of the family, and in that family, Washington, that is the oldest son, and Virginia, that is the middle child, and the Otis only daughter, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, after that, what happened in
ma'am?
scene
And
1?
that in this, ma'am, the owner of ma'am, in scene 1, it happened that Lord Canterville and Mr. Otis had a discussion about before entering the house. Mr. Lord Canterville said that I want to say something, that in this Canterville there is one ghost that lived around 3 centuries.
From
and
3rd century. Okay.
I also like to tell the story of my great aunt.
Then what in the story of his grand aunt? What he told about this lady? Any other, please? Abhinav Singh.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, her grand aunt was so pregnant that she never recovered from the shock.
Yes. So what happened with her? I told that when he was discussing the same, there were two sides in the stage. So the first side where they both were talking, that was darkened. Okay. And then after another side was lit up. So whatever he was talking to means Lord Canterville was talking to the couple, Mr. Otis, no, Mr. Otis. So things were seen here. Whatever he was giving the story and all about, that was visible in the next part of the stage. Okay. So what was the name of the grand aunt? Hmm? She was Duchess of Bolton. Duchess of Bolton. Then she hears such types of noise and all, and she had a talk. She could see that funny hands, and then somebody was touching her shoulder and all. And she was also saying to not to touch and then get away from her. So these things were told by her, by his grand aunt. And then after the housekeeper who were be there with the lady, they were making the lady calm down, and then they were not going to see anybody, but she had. Okay, after that, Lord Canterville informed that she was as frightened and that she had never recovered from the shock. But he was somewhere agreed to buy the villa instead of having these conditions. And after that, in scene 2, we had that Mrs. Otis. Okay, starting from the scene is starting in the library of Canterville Chase. Mrs. Umne enters the library, followed by Mr. and Mrs. Otis, Washington, Virginia, and the twins, all the family members with the Mrs. Umne, the housekeeper. Okay, they were in library. She is laid out from the Otis family. They settled down trying to get the feel of this old mansion. Suddenly, Mrs. Otis noticed some blood stain. Okay, she notices some blood stain on a spot. See, in a hush, she says, I am afraid something has been spilled here. Mrs. Umni in a hushed voice, yes, madam. Blood has been spilled on that spot. So on that, on seeing that blood stain there, she was started a story. See, oh really, I really do not care for that blood stain. I want to remove it at once. So whatever she says to remove that blood stain from that spot. Mrs. Umni in the same hushed voice as she was afraid. Is this the blood of Lady Eleanor de Canterville? Okay, who was murdered on the same spot by her own husband, Sir Simon de Canterville. Sir Simon de Canterville. What was the name? Sir Simon de Canterville. For that, this villa refers to. Okay, so she was murdered by her own husband, Sir Simon de Canterville, when in 1575. 1575, 9 years after the murder, he disappeared. So after doing that murder, he disappeared when? After 9 years. Okay. And he rather mysteriously, disappeared from that place. And then his body was never found, lowering her voice, but his guilty spirit still haunts the chase. So that is why that was the ghost of Sir Simon de Canterville that was roaming somewhere in that particular villa. Was telling the same to Mrs. Otis. Okay, Washington, nonsense. Watch me remove the stain. So as they were the American family, the wealthy family were not going to believe on ghost. He told that nonsense. See that I'm going to remove the stain just now. He takes out a small stick of stain remover from his bag and then rubs it over the stain. There a sudden a flash of lightning and the peal of thunder. Mrs. Umni looked frightened and friends. As soon he was going to, removing the stain, Mrs. Umni can hear some lightning and thunder, and then she looks terrified from the same place. Mr. Otis, what monstrous English climate. So when he hears that climate, he was talking about that was a monstrous, climate. We're talking about a climate, but she was thinking that what is condition, what types of noises were coming due to that. So Simon de Canterville, that due to that a ghost. All right. See, Mrs. Umni, I have seen things with my own eyes, sir, which would make anyone's hairs stand on the end. What she says, that I have seen something, all the things from my own eyes. Due to that, anybody can have fear. And many a night I do not close my eyes in sleep due to the awful things that happened here. In that condition, when I frightened, I could not sleep as well. Why? Because that's such types of noises and the horrible condition what is going on in this house. Mr. Otis, it's all right, Mrs. Umni. There is nothing to fear. At any rate, ghosts don't frighten us. So he was somewhere confirmed that they will not afraid by ghosts. They will not frightened by the ghosts. And then the children laughed when he talks like that. Now scene 3 started. So in scene 1, we had the conversation of Lord Canterville to Mr. Otis. Anyhow, what about the condition, the terms and conditions to buying that villa? In scene 2, we had the scene of library in which they had the blood stain, how Mrs. Umri was telling she was terrifying and all. And what is the response of the wealthy family? We had seen in scene 2. Now scene 3. So in scene 3, in the morning, the library, the center, we had the morning time in scene 3. That was the evening time in scene 2, not the morning time. Same library, enter the twins. Who were the twins? Lewis and Clark. Lewis, look, the blood stains is back. The ghost must have been here again. So what he removed in evening, it came on the same spot in the morning. But they were not terrified. See, Lewis told that it came again, so that they must have been visit here on the same place. That is why it is there. Clark, brother Washington, has been rubbing it out, and every day it comes back. So the same condition was going every day. They removed, and then after it came again, they knew that all the thing was doing by the ghost. But instead of knowing the fact, they were not intimidating by this. Clear? Okay. Then Levi says, let's camp out here tonight and wait for him. So see that they were very bold. Told that let us camp here in this library, and whatever things will be happened here, we will see. So let us camp here tonight. Okay. They will wait for the ghost. Clark, we will corner him here. You sleep by the door, and I will sleep on the deck. So can I jump on the top of him? Say that you will sleep here. You will sleep by the door, and I will sleep on the deck from the upside. So I will sleep on the deck, and when he will enter, I will jump on the ghost. Clear? And like that, we will catch him. Lewis, let's come here with our pillows tonight. So they will throw on him, and then like that they will make a fun of the ghost. So that was scene 3. In scene 3, in the morning time, that was started by the twins and also ending by the twins. They were planned what to do, how to catch the thief. Okay. Oh, sorry, how to catch the ghost. Now, in scene 4, night, Mr. Otis is asleep in his room. The loud sound of clanging metal is heard. Clanging metal. The sound of clanging metal can be heard. So it means that something is to be dragging out the sound of a metal. Okay. Then Mr. Otis wakes up suddenly with that harsh sound. Mr. Otis, what on earth is that sound? Wait, it's get closer. No, I'm not imagining anything. Now I can hear footsteps. So with that sound, he could also hear some footsteps. Okay, some footsteps that was coming closer and closer to him. That was the night time he was going to sleep. He could hear the greasing of that chain, and he could hear the closing steps of somebody. So he thought that he is not imagining anything. Actually, there was something he was hearing. After that, he takes a small bottle of lubricating oil out of a case and opens the door. Then he was taking an oil and then opened the door. There, right in front of him, he sees in a pale moonlight an old man. His eyes are red like burning coals. He sees a man in front of him was somewhere very thin, a pale man, and then after eyes was somewhere like burning balls. He has long gray matted hair. Means that was the story when in 50 or 75. So till that he is due to that his hair was completely matted. He wears an old fashioned dirty clothes belongs to that particular century. So wears an old-fashioned dirty clothes, and his wrists and ankles are bound with the rusty chains. His wrists and ankles were bound with that chain, and when he was going ahead, it sounds okay. So the chain was sound. It was rusty chains. Clear. Now, Mr. Otis, goodness me, my dear sir, you cannot go cracking about like this. So see that he sees the ghost in front of him and not afraid of the ghost. What he says that you cannot disturb us. We are sleeping here. See, that is somewhere different thing we are having in this story. A person who sees the ghost and talking like that. So it's a new. That is why Oscar Wilde has given a new thing in this story. Says that you cannot go cracking about like this. I insist that you oil your chain. See the lines. Says to oil his chain. When he oil, it will not sound. So it will not disturb. Okay. So he says to oil the chain. I will leave this bottle of oil for you. So that oil is for you, sir. You can use. Okay. Then it is said to be very effectively. Do apply it on your chain and let me know that if you need more, I will give you more. Okay. So in that way, he was somewhere paused his sentences and then told that, all right, now please take the thing and now good night. So he was wishing him good night. And after that, he left the place. Mr. Otis goes back to his room and closed the door. Now after that, the Canterville ghost. He was full of anger, very angry. What is? He says, how dare he? How dare he laugh at me? Says that how dare he? So Mr. Otis laughed at me. Ooh, there's so much for his advice. He's talking about his advice. So the man is going to give advice to a ghost. He's not have any types of intimidated with me. Okay. And then he says, repeating the same line, greasing my chain. He throws the bottle away. Now watch me. He throws a green light around himself and fills the air with horrible groans. So he was making the scene like that. People will afraid by this condition. And he goes and steps. He goes up the steps. And after that, he continued towards the library as the daily routine of the ghost. And in that library, who were there? The twins were, ready to catch the ghost. So they were waiting for him. The twins appear at the top of the stairs. Twins caught you. They threw the pillow at the ghost, and the ghost escapes from him. So as soon they are going to catch it, they threw the pillows there on the ghost, and then he escaped from that place. In scene 5. So in scene 4, we had know that there was a conversation. Of conversation, you can say that he had given some advice to chain the to grease the chain of the ghost and not to disturb him. And then after how he escapes from the library when they throw the pillow on him. So scene 5. Ghost is very furious. He says, I will have my vengeance. Vengeance is revenge. Okay. So I will have my vengeance. Do they know who I am? So in himself, he is talking like that. He's saying the same words. He was full of anger. They do not know who I am, and they know that what fearful appearance of mind. They don't have any types of fearing faces when they see me. I have made. Have they seen to the furor? Furor is see that a sudden angry or excited reaction. So I can create such types of furor. How dare they, these Americans, the goal, rude and arrogant. They were very arrogant to ask me to grease my own chains and those pins, to throw a pillow at my head, and I, a ghost who can play 9 pins with my own bones. Okay, calm down. I have to think this through. No host in this history has been insulted like that. So revenge, oof, I will have the last laugh. How dare you? So like that, he was saying he was very angry, and then he told to take his revenge. Your story is finished with the lines of a host. For word meaning, please tick the words. First of all, page number 124. Intimidating, dowager, clammy and dot. Next page. Goffing, monstrous, matted, greasing, vengeance, furor, gal. This much. All one word words from the word and meaning. So in the next class, I will discuss question 1 to 7. 1 to 7 questions are here. We will discuss question answer, and after that. So till that time, you have to write all word meaning in your copy. And if you have any doubt for PDF will not be given just now. First of all, we will discuss question, and after that, I will tell you. So try to solve question answer by your own first, and do word meaning in copy. So thank you, class.